Good afternoon, everyone, on the My BC Consulting Facebook page. It is 1:01. I am 1 minute behind because just before we came on, in great Jeanette fashion, she got on a little bit about our soapbox about making sure that we are supporting our communities this holiday season. We need to go to the mom and pop stores. We need to go to the manufacturers that you know are close to your home, excuse me, in order for us to help the local economy. Just a second. Thank goodness I have some water. So today we're another Where in the World Is ... a W5 story session. I'm so excited to welcome a recent connection of mine through V-Team All Stars Networking. This lovely lady came to be a visitor. So without further ado, we start with, who are you?
Well, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a real pleasure to get to know you a little bit over the past few weeks. And I'm Kati Simonett. And who am I? I guess I'm a global citizen.
Okay. So I often say, what are kind of 5 who hats you wear in life?
The 5 who hats I wear in life. Okay. So I would say, first of all, a global citizen, just because I seek to be a traveler and a learner of other ways of doing things, of seeing things. And so that's, I guess, how I view myself. In my personal life, though, if that's what you're asking, I am a partner. I'm engaged to a wonderful man. And I'm a daughter. And let's see, 2 more? No, 3, 2 more.
2 more. What do you like to do for fun? Like, what who hat do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? Travel. I would say that's the biggest thing. Also biking. I love getting out and hiking and just being outside, being on the lake.
So I love to unpack 2 of those who hats. So what does travel look like for you?
So when it's domestic, so I'm in the US, it looked like basically traveling around. I try to go 0 waste as possible. So we do have an electric vehicle, and look to charge that as much as possible on renewables. But that's, we pack into the car and just go. And so it's kind of like my little house on wheels, I like to say.
So what do you do for business?
Well, I'm a solar consultant.
Cool.
Yeah. It fits right into basically my vision and my values. So
where are you on this big blue marble, and where can you help with your business?
Well, I'm in the land of 10,000 lakes. Actually, we have more like 12,000 right now. So that would be modern day Minnesota, the North Midwest of the United States. And I work remotely in United States that make sense for solar. So there's several of them, but I'll touch on Colorado, Florida, California, sort of those as Texas, the big sort of states that you think of when you think of solar.
Okay. So when did you decide this is what you wanted to do?
Well, it was about 5 years ago when I started to realize that I wanted to make a bigger impact. And I know that globally, as far as like governments looking at talks and treaties and things for the environment, and I just thought, well, what can I actually do? Because I do believe in the power of us as a collective and as individuals to make a really, really great difference. And so I wanted to be that. And I also wanted to be an advocate for people who were looking at, okay, how can I personally reduce my impact in my own living situation? And then where do I go and how do I make it happen? So that was about 5 years ago.
Wow. Just to kind of loop back to another who question, who are your customers?
Oh, yes. Okay. So primarily, so homeowners for sure.
Okay.
Um, I work with a lot of teachers, but there are definite factors into whether or not a household can utilize solar.
Mm,
So the biggest, I guess, qualifications, I would say, a sunny roof. So homeowners with a lot of sunshine, a lot of space over the roof, not a whole lot of wonky pitches, and then just having good credit. So most people don't pay anything up front, and that's the biggest thing is just making sure that it can be financed. So I love working with EV drivers, so electric vehicle drivers.
ooh.
I can definitely speak to that with people, and also, environmental entrepreneurs as well that are, and people who are more conscious about where they want their energy to come from.
Well, I can tell you in where I live, I'm about 70 kilometers south of Vancouver. Today would be a perfect day for solar, but the last kind of week it has not been. But I know there is areas in British Columbia that their solar is very readily used. And I know there's some builders that are looking into it as even a secondary source. Like if there's forced air, but then in the summertime, maybe they can use and store up the solar energy. So you're the expert. So what's your why in life? What makes you get up every morning and go, wow, this is my why in life?
Well, I think that there's a lot actually. But the biggest thing is for me, I mean, do you have that place that you really like to go to just to be outside and to experience nature? Like, do you know what that place is for you?
Oh, 100%.
So that's my why for me is I see when I see, like the wilderness, and I'm just as much of a fly in the wall as I can be, and just to witness the beauty that is naturally so. And my why is to make sure that that it stays that way, and also that that all species can thrive on this planet. Yeah,
That's
I could go on
beautiful.
about that.
Well, thank you so much for sharing a portion of your W5 story. I know there's got to be lots of stories connected to your who, your what, your why, your when, and just amazing. And it's a very timely subject, and one that people that are on my Facebook page here, that if you've got some, you're an environmentalist, if you are, yeah, just reach out. You heard Kati's story. I'm not saying your name right, am I?
You are,
Oh,
yeah.
Kathy. Oh, whoo, I said it right. And we'll make sure that we put her information into the chat afterwards. And please do reach out, because you'd be surprised that you may not live in one of those areas, but you may have a family member that in passing you've had this conversation, and now you've got a point of reference to be able to help you with the answers, whether you can, cannot, or thrive using solar energy for your home. Okay, so thank you so much. There you go. You learned somebody else's story today on the Where in the World Is ... a W5 story session. Thank you, everybody.